There are moments in life when everything seems stagnant. You pray, you fast, you seek God, yet nothing seems to move. You wonder if your breakthrough is still a distant dream or if you've been forgotten. But what if I told you that you are closer than you think? What if at this very moment, God is aligning things in your favor and the enemy is trembling because he knows your victory is near? The reason the battles have been intense, the delays have been frustrating, and the burdens have been heavy is because your breakthrough is right at the door. But here's the catch. Most people give up when they are just one step away. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal will shift your faith and position you to walk into your God-ordained season. There are times in life when the enemy turns up the heat, not because you're weak, but because you are dangerously close to stepping into your divine breakthrough. The resistance is a sign that you are on the verge of something greater. The enemy wouldn't attack you if you weren't carrying something valuable. You see, before God takes you into a season of elevation, he will allow a season of testing. And many of you have been in a season where you've asked, Lord, when? How long must I wait? Why does it feel like I am stuck? But listen, God has been watching you, measuring your endurance, testing your faith, and preparing your heart. The children of Israel walked around the walls of Jericho for 6 days and nothing changed. 6 days of walking in silence. 6 days of seeing the same problem standing strong before them. 6 days of no movement, no cracks, no signs of breakthrough. But on the 7th day, at the sound of their shout, everything that stood in their way came crashing down. What if they had stopped on the 6th day? What if they had said, this isn't working? What if they had allowed their frustration to rob them of the miracle that was just around the corner? Many people quit too soon. They allow discouragement to blind them from seeing that they are on the brink of something supernatural. You are closer than you think. When a woman is about to give birth, the labor pains increase. The closer she gets to delivery, the more intense the pressure. The contractions are a sign that new life is coming. Some of you have been feeling that pressure in your spirit. You've been facing opposition, setbacks, delays, and discouragement. But listen to me, your labor pains are proof that something is about to be birthed in your life. The enemy wants you to panic, to break down, to run away from the process. But if you could see what God is preparing for you on the other side, you would not faint. If you could see how close you are to your breakthrough, you would press on with even greater faith. God does not allow delays to destroy you. He allows them to develop you. Some breakthroughs are not about speed, but about spiritual readiness. Have you ever thought that maybe what you've been praying for is already released, but God is waiting for you to be ready to handle it? Joseph was given a dream at a young age, but his journey to fulfillment took years. He was betrayed, falsely accused, and imprisoned. But when the time was right, in a single day, he was lifted from the prison to the palace. His delay wasn't denial. His waiting season wasn't a wasted season. God was positioning him, maturing him, and preparing him to reign. Some of you have been crying out to God, saying, Lord, open the door, make a way. And heaven's response has been, I'm working behind the scenes. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Daniel prayed and his answer was dispatched immediately, but there was a delay in the spiritual realm. The enemy fought to block the manifestation, but Daniel's persistence in prayer ensured that his breakthrough was delivered. You cannot afford to give up now. Your answer is on the way. There's a level of breakthrough that only comes when you refuse to quit, when you stand firm and declare, I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Faith is not just believing when everything looks possible. Faith is standing firm when everything looks impossible. Peter walked on water not because the storm stopped, but because he kept his eyes on Jesus. The moment he shifted his focus, he started sinking. That is how the enemy works. He magnifies your problems to make you doubt God's promises. But if you stay focused, if you keep walking, if you keep believing, you will step into a dimension of victory that you never imagined possible. Some of you are closer than you think, but you are weary. You have fought many battles. You have endured many trials. You have cried many tears. But I came to tell you that God has seen it all. He has counted every tear. He has witnessed every moment you felt like giving up but chose to trust Him instead. And because you did not faint, because you did not turn back, He is about to reward your faithfulness. The doors that were closed are about to open. The barriers that were in your way are about to break. The favor that has been stored up for you is about to be released. There are some victories that require endurance. The enemy thought that if he delayed you long enough, you would walk away from your promise. But what the enemy didn't realize is that the waiting only made you stronger. It only refined your character, built your faith, and made you more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Your waiting season wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God was ensuring that when you step into your breakthrough, you will have the maturity, the wisdom, and the capacity to sustain it. You are at the edge of something incredible. The shift is happening. The heavens are opening. The things that seemed impossible are about to be made possible. The prayers that felt unanswered are about to manifest. The dreams that looked out of reach are about to be realized. You are closer than you think. But here's the question. Will you keep believing? Will you keep pressing? Will you keep trusting even when it seems like nothing is happening? Because if you do, if you hold on just a little longer, you will testify of the goodness of God in ways you never imagined. I need you to hear me right now. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to allow fear, doubt, or discouragement to rob you of your destiny. You must keep going. You must keep praying. You must keep worshiping, because your breakthrough is just one act of faith away. The same God who parted the Red Sea, the same God who brought down the walls of Jericho, the same God who raised Lazarus from the dead is moving on your behalf. The same God who lifted Joseph from the prison to the palace is orchestrating your elevation. Your midnight season is about to turn into morning. The battle you have been fighting is about to turn into victory. The weeping you have endured is about to be replaced with joy. You are closer than you think, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has set in motion for you. Stay in faith. Stay in position, because what God has promised you is on the way. There is a moment in every believer's life when faith is tested, not by what is visible, but by what is unseen. The silence of God does not mean the absence of His work. The delays you are facing do not mean denial. The struggle you are enduring is not proof of defeat. What you don't see is that in the realm of the Spirit, things are shifting. The weight of your waiting season is not a burden. It is evidence that you are being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. How do you feel? And it is in this place of pressing, in this place where your patience is stretched, that God is doing His deepest work. The enemy hopes that you will misinterpret this season, that you will mistake your refining for rejection, that you will walk away just moments before your breakthrough arrives. But I came to tell you that you cannot afford to misread what God is doing in this moment. The enemy understands something that many believers fail to grasp. Your next step is the most dangerous step you will ever take, not because it will break you, but because it will break the cycle that has been holding you back. You are not just fighting for yourself, you are fighting for generations. You are breaking barriers that have stood in your bloodline for years. You are overcoming patterns that your ancestors could not defeat. That is why the battle has been so intense. That is why the warfare has been relentless. You are the one who is about to shift everything. That's why the enemy is trying to discourage you, to distract you, to weigh you down with doubt, because if you endure just a little longer, everything is about to change. If you could see what God has stored up for you, you would not hesitate to keep pressing forward. If you could see the doors He is about to open, you would not allow frustration to slow you down. If you could see how close you are, you would not be questioning whether or not it's worth it. God has already gone before you. He has already made a way. He has already aligned the right people, the right resources, the right opportunities to meet you at the appointed time. The problem is not the lack of provision. The challenge is that you must endure the process to reach it. Too many people abort their blessing before it fully manifests. Too many people get weary in well-doing and walk away from the very thing they have been praying for. That will not be your portion. You've been walking in obedience and it has seemed as though nothing is happening. But let me remind you of something. When a seed is planted, nothing appears to happen for a long time. The soil is dark, the process is unseen, but beneath the surface, transformation is taking place. Roots are growing deeper, structure is forming, and strength is being established. And then, at the appointed time, what was hidden breaks through the ground and begins to flourish. This is where you are right now. You are in the unseen stage of your breakthrough. But just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Do you know how many people stop just before their breakthrough comes? Do you know how many people allow discouragement to rob them of what God was about to release into their hands? The enemy will always attack hardest when you are closest to stepping into your promise. The Israelites faced the greatest opposition just before entering the promised land. The enemy knew that if they got past that final obstacle, they would never be the same again. So he fought them with fear, with doubt, with obstacles, with deception, because he knew that if they crossed over, his control over them would be broken forever. The same is happening in your life. The resistance you are facing is not a sign that you are losing. It is confirmation that you are about to step into something greater. You cannot afford to shrink back. You cannot afford to let weariness cause you to forfeit what is rightfully yours. God is still the same God who makes a way where there is no way. He is still the God who parts the waters, who shuts the mouths of lions, who walks in the fire with his people and brings them out without even the smell of smoke. He is still the God who calls things that are not as though they were. And when he speaks, everything must align with his word. Your situation is not an exception. If he said it, he will do it. If he promised it, he will bring it to pass. Some of you are on the edge, standing at the threshold of what you have been believing for, and all that is left is one final push of faith. The enemy knows this, which is why he has been attacking your mind, making you feel exhausted, making you feel unworthy, making you question whether or not you heard God correctly. But I need you to hold on a little longer. I need you to stand firm and declare that no weapon formed against you will prosper. I need you to remind yourself that he who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. I need you to stir up your faith and declare that you will not let go until you receive what God has for you. The moment you decide that quitting is not an option is the moment the enemy loses his power over you. When you make up your mind that you will trust God no matter what, everything in the spiritual realm shifts in your favor. Faith is the currency of the kingdom. It is the key that unlocks what has been stored up for you. It is what causes mountains to move and doors to open. And if you will hold on to your faith, if you will refuse to be shaken by what you see, you will walk into the very thing you have been praying for. God is not just bringing you into a breakthrough, he is bringing you into transformation. He is not just answering one prayer, he is setting you up for an entirely new season. You will look back at this moment and realize that the waiting was not wasted. The struggle was not in vain. The tears you cried were watering the very thing you are about to walk into. What you thought was a setback was really a setup for something bigger. What you thought was a delay was actually divine positioning. The enemy thought he had you. He thought the delays would make you quit. He thought the hardships would cause you to walk away. He thought the attacks would make you lose your faith. But what he didn't realize is that everything he sent against you only made you stronger. Every trial you faced refined your character. Every battle you fought increased your endurance. Every disappointment pushed you closer to God. And now, because you didn't give up, because you didn't walk away, because you didn't let go of your faith, you are about to experience the greatest breakthrough of your life. Heaven has already declared it. The angels have already been sent to war on your behalf. The doors have already been unlocked. The favor has already been assigned to your name, and all you have to do is hold on just a little longer. Keep believing just a little stronger, and refuse to let anything shake your confidence in the one who called you. Because you are closer than you think, and what God has for you cannot be stopped. Stay in faith, stay in position. The breakthrough is here. Every step you've taken in obedience, every tear you've cried in prayer, every sacrifice you've made in faith, it has all been seen by God. Nothing has been wasted. The nights you wrestled with doubt but chose to trust him anyway, the days you felt alone but kept believing, the moments you wanted to give up but held on, all of it has been counted. God is not unjust. He does not forget the labor of love, the persistence of faith, the endurance of his people. And just when you think you have reached your breaking point, just when you feel like you cannot go another day, that is when heaven moves. That is when what was hidden is revealed. That is when the doors that seemed immovable begin to open. That is when the prayers you thought had gone unheard begin to manifest. God does not operate on human timelines. He does not rush because we are impatient, nor does he delay without purpose. He moves in divine precision, orchestrating everything in alignment with his perfect will. When he sets something in motion, nothing in heaven or earth can stop it. He is not bound by human limitations, not restricted by circumstances, not hindered by obstacles. What he has planned for you has already been written. Your destiny has already been spoken into existence. And the waiting, the pressing, the refining, it is not to break you, but to prepare you for what is coming. Some people quit too soon. Some people get so close, but because they cannot see the finish line, they assume they are still miles away. They let go just before their blessing reaches their hands. They surrender to discouragement instead of standing firm in faith. They begin to believe the whispers of the enemy instead of the promises of God. But I declare over you today that you will not be one of them. You will not faint. You will not turn back. You will not allow weariness to rob you of what is already set in motion for you. If only you knew how close you were. If only you could see what heaven sees. You would rejoice instead of worrying. You would praise instead of questioning. You would stand in confidence instead of wavering in doubt. The weight you have been feeling is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are shifting. A mother does not go into labor because something is wrong. She goes into labor because something new is about to be birthed. The intensity of this season is not to break you, but to push you into a new level. The pressure is not to destroy you, but to position you. The enemy's greatest weapon is deception. If he can make you believe that the process is punishment, he can cause you to walk away from what was meant to bless you. But God is saying to you right now, hold on. Hold on a little longer. Keep pressing a little further. You are closer than you think. When God is getting ready to move, he will often test your endurance. He will allow you to walk through situations that demand complete trust. He will remove the crutches you have leaned on. He will close the doors you thought would open. He will strip away everything that is not meant for your next season. And it may feel like he is taking something from you, but in reality, he is making room for something greater. You cannot carry the weight of your breakthrough while holding on to things that were only meant for your past. You cannot step into a new level while dragging old mindsets, old habits, old fears with you. God is refining you, stretching you, molding you into the person who can sustain what he is about to release. There are moments in Scripture where breakthroughs came suddenly, but if you look closely, those sudden moments were always preceded by a process. Joseph went from the prison to the palace in a single day, but his journey to that moment took years of refining. David was anointed king as a young boy, but he spent years in obscurity before stepping into his throne. The disciples walked with Jesus for years before stepping into the full manifestation of their calling. What God is doing in your life is not just about giving you a breakthrough. It is about preparing you to carry it well. What happens when God answers your prayer? Are you ready for it? Can you sustain what you are asking for? Some people pray for an open door but do not have the discipline to walk through it responsibly. Some people ask for greater influence but do not have the character to steward it well. Some people cry out for increase but have not yet learned to be faithful with what they already have. God does not just want to bless you. He wants you to be able to sustain the blessing. And that is why he allows seasons of preparation. Seasons that stretch you, seasons that teach you endurance, seasons that build your faith to the level where you can handle what is coming. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. He does not waste time on people who are not a threat. If you have been facing resistance, it is because you carry something powerful. If you have been enduring trials, it is because your destiny is significant. The enemy does not want you to reach the place where you fully walk in who God created you to be. He does not want you to step into the fullness of your calling. He does not want you to recognize the authority you carry as a child of God. So he fights you. He tries to wear you down. He tries to convince you that you are not enough, that you will never make it, that you should just settle. But he is a liar. He has no power over what God has spoken. He has no authority over what heaven has decreed. God's promises are not void. His word does not return empty. What he has spoken over your life has already been set in motion. And no delay, no opposition, no attack from the enemy can cancel it. What you need to do is keep going, keep pressing, keep believing, keep standing. Your faith is the currency that activates the supernatural. Your obedience is what unlocks the doors that no man can shut. Your persistence is what ensures that you will not just see the promise, but you will walk in it. Some of you have been waiting for a sign, waiting for confirmation, waiting for God to tell you that it's time to move forward. This is your confirmation. This is your sign. This is your moment to rise up in faith and declare that you will not be stopped. You will not be shaken. You will not be defeated. You will not let go of what God has for you. You will step into your breakthrough. You will see the manifestation of his promises. You will experience the fullness of his goodness. What God has started in your life, he will complete. What he has spoken over you, he will bring to pass. What he has promised, he will fulfill. Your story is not over. Your journey is not finished. This is not the end. It is the turning point. This is the moment where you decide whether you will let go or whether you will press in, whether you will shrink back or whether you will rise up, whether you will believe the lies of the enemy or whether you will stand on the unshakable word of God. You are standing in the middle of a divine setup. What looked like a delay was really preparation. What seemed like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like silence was actually God working behind the scenes. He has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. He has not changed his mind about you. The same God who called you is the same God who will fulfill every promise. The same God who began a good work in you is the same God who will bring it to completion. You are closer than you think. The doors are already opening. The favor is already being released. The breakthrough is already set in motion. Stand firm, hold your position, because what is coming is greater than what you have imagined. The pressure you feel right now is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign that something is shifting in the spirit. It is a sign that the heavens are moving, that the foundations of what has held you back are shaking, that the chains are breaking and the barriers are falling. God is not just preparing a breakthrough for you, he is preparing you for the breakthrough. The weight of this season is strengthening you for the next. The struggles that seemed endless are producing endurance. The tests you have faced are birthing testimonies that will be undeniable. The fight has been long, but the victory is near. The storm has been raging, but the winds are shifting. God is a God of timing. He does not move 1 second too early or 1 second too late. He moves with precision, aligning everything according to his perfect will. If he has not brought it to pass yet, it is because he is still positioning the pieces. It is because he is making sure that when you step into it, nothing will be able to take it away from you. He is not just giving you a blessing, he is making sure you can hold on to it. And that is why this season has been stretching you. That is why you have faced moments that seemed unbearable. That is why you have endured things that did not make sense. It was not to break you, it was to build you. It was not to push you away, it was to bring you closer. God is refining your heart, strengthening your faith, and deepening your trust in him. Because when he moves, he does not want you doubting whether it was him. He does not want you hesitating when the doors swing open. He does not want you questioning whether you are ready. He wants you to step into it boldly, knowing that you have been prepared for this moment. Every trial you faced was part of the training. Every delay you endured was part of the process. Every tear you shed was watering the ground for the harvest that is coming. And now the shift is here. The movement is happening. The release is near. What you prayed for, what you believed for, what you have stood in faith for, it is already being aligned in the heavens. And the enemy knows it. That is why the attacks have intensified. That is why the distractions have increased. That is why the pressure has felt overwhelming. Because the enemy always fights hardest when he knows his time is short. He's not fighting you because you are weak. He is fighting you because you are on the verge of something powerful. He is not resisting you because you are failing. He is resisting you because he sees what God is about to do. The enemy wants you to give up before you see it. He wants you to turn back when you are right at the threshold. He wants you to surrender when victory is just beyond the horizon. But I declare over you today that you will not quit. You will not be moved by fear. You will not allow the enemy to rob you of what is rightfully yours. You will stand firm. You will endure. You will hold your ground, because what is coming is greater than what is behind you. What is ahead is greater than what you have walked through. The promise is greater than the pain. There were moments when you thought God was silent, but he was working. There were times when you felt forgotten, but he was positioning you. There were days when you wondered if he heard your prayers, but he was orchestrating the answer. Heaven has not ignored your cries. The angels have not been idle. The throne of grace has not been closed. God has been moving even when you could not see it. And now, the moment is near. God's timing is perfect, but it requires trust, it requires patience, it requires endurance. It requires a faith that says, even if I do not see it yet, I believe it is already done. It requires a trust that declares, even when I feel weary, I will keep standing. Because what God is preparing for you is not just an ordinary blessing, it is an overflow. It is not just an answer to a prayer. It is a manifestation of his divine purpose in your life. It is not just a breakthrough. It is a complete transformation. What God is about to do will not just affect you. It will affect the generations that come after you. The chains that he is breaking are not just your chains. They are generational chains. The doors he is opening are not just for you. They are for those who will walk behind you. The favor he is releasing is not just for this moment. It is for a legacy that will be built through you. That is why the process has been so intense. That is why the enemy has fought you so hard. That is why the weight has felt so heavy. Because what is coming is not small, it is mighty. It is not temporary, it is eternal. You are not standing in this place by accident. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because God has ordained it. He has called you. He has anointed you. He has set you apart for such a time as this. And now, the moment you have been preparing for is near. Now the shift you have been praying for is happening. Now the breakthrough you have been waiting for is within reach. Do not allow discouragement to cloud your vision. Do not allow temporary delays to shake your faith. Do not allow the enemy to convince you that it is not happening, because even when you do not see it, God is moving. Even when you do not feel it, heaven is working. Even when you do not understand it, his plan is unfolding. He is not a man that he should lie. He is not a God who makes empty promises. What he has spoken will come to pass. What he has declared will be fulfilled. What he has ordained will be established. Hold on. Keep pressing, keep believing, keep standing, because you are closer than you think. The heavens are already shifting. The favor is already being released. The breakthrough is already being delivered. And nothing, no force in hell, no scheme of the enemy, no obstacle of man can stop what God has set in motion. Your time is near. Your moment is now. Stand firm. Hold your position, because what is coming will be greater than anything you have ever imagined. The enemy has tried to distract you, to wear you down, to plant seeds of doubt in your heart. He has whispered lies in your ear, making you believe that nothing is changing, that nothing is moving, that God has forgotten about you. But the enemy is a deceiver. He would not be fighting you this hard if he did not see what was about to happen. He would not be increasing the pressure if he did not sense the shift. The reason the warfare has intensified is because your breakthrough is at the door. The reason the enemy is trying to weaken your faith is because your moment of manifestation is closer than you realize. The enemy cannot stop what God is about to do, so he tries to stop you from believing in it. But he is a defeated foe. His tactics have no power over you. His lies cannot shake the foundation God has placed beneath your feet. No matter what it looks like, no matter how long it has felt, no matter what the circumstances are trying to tell you, you must stand on the unshakable truth that God is faithful. The God who parted the Red Sea is the same God who is making a way for you. The God who shut the mouths of lions is the same God who is covering you in this season. The God who raised Lazarus from the dead is the same God who is resurrecting every promise that seems to have been buried. The God who turned 5 loaves and 2 fish into an abundance is the same God who is taking what you have and multiplying it beyond what you can imagine. He is not limited by time. He is not restricted by what you see. He is not bound by human understanding. His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are greater than our thoughts. He is moving in a way that is beyond your comprehension. That is why you cannot afford to let your faith waver. That is why you cannot afford to let doubt take root. That is why you cannot afford to let discouragement talk you out of what God has already declared. This season is not meant to break you. It is meant to prepare you. The fire you are walking through is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you. God is purifying you in the process. He is molding you, shaping you, making you into the vessel that can carry what He is about to release. Because what He has for you is bigger than what you have asked for. What He is about to do in your life is greater than what you have imagined. And that is why the preparation has been intense. That is why the waiting has been long. That is why the pressure has felt unbearable. Because what He is preparing you for is not just for today. It is for the destiny that He has ordained for you from the beginning of time. The waiting is not a sign that nothing is happening. The waiting is proof that something is being aligned. The silence is not proof of abandonment. It is evidence that God is working behind the scenes. When God is about to move, He does not always announce it beforehand. He does not always give you signs that make sense in the natural. Because faith is not about seeing, it is about trusting. Faith is not about understanding every detail. It is about knowing that even when you do not understand, God is still in control. That is why you cannot rely on your feelings in this season. Your feelings will tell you that nothing is changing. Your feelings will tell you that it has been too long. Your feelings will tell you that it is too late. But faith is not built on feelings. Faith is built on truth. And the truth is that God is always on time. The truth is that His word never returns void. The truth is that what He has promised is already done in the Spirit, and now it is only a matter of time before you see it in the natural. You are standing on the edge of something great. You are right at the threshold of the fulfillment of what God has spoken. Do not turn back now. Do not give up in the final stretch. Do not allow impatience to rob you of what is coming, because when God releases what He has for you, it will be more than what you expected. It will come with overflow. It will come with supernatural provision. It will come with divine acceleration. And when it happens, you will look back and realize why it took the time that it did. You will understand why God did not let you settle. You will see why He did not allow you to walk through certain doors. You will know why He made you wait. Every tear you cried, He has collected. Every prayer you whispered in the dark, He has heard. Every moment you felt unseen, He was watching over you. He has never left you. He has never abandoned you. Even in the moments when you felt like you were alone, He was working on your behalf. Even in the moments when you thought He was silent, He was speaking into your destiny. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are about to step into a season where what was hidden will be revealed. What was delayed will be released. What was blocked will be opened. The enemy has tried to convince you that nothing is happening. He has tried to make you believe that God has changed His mind. But the enemy is a liar. He has no power over the plans that God has for you. He cannot stop what God has set in motion. He cannot alter the destiny that has been written over your life. He can try to delay it, but he cannot deny it. He can try to distract you, but he cannot erase what God has ordained. That is why you must hold on to your faith like never before. That is why you must keep pressing forward even when it feels hard, because the moment you have been waiting for is closer than you think. Do not let the enemy steal your joy in the waiting. Do not let him take your peace in the process. Do not let him convince you that what God has promised is not real, because when the breakthrough comes, it will be undeniable. When the doors open, they will be unshakable. When the blessing is released, no force in hell will be able to stop it. You will see the hand of God move in ways that will leave no doubt that it was Him. You will experience the fulfillment of promises that once seemed impossible. You will stand in the manifestation of prayers that once fell delayed. And when you do, you will realize that God was always working, that He was always moving, that He was always leading you to this very moment. The testing of your faith has not been in vain. The trials you have endured have not been wasted. Every battle you fought has been preparing you for the blessing that is about to be released. The enemy thought he could take you out, but God sustained you. The storms tried to break you, but God covered you. The delays tried to discourage you, but God strengthened you. And now the moment is here. The shift is happening. The release is at hand. You have come too far to give up now. You have endured too much to walk away. You have pressed through too many obstacles to let the enemy rob you of what is yours. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Stand firm. Hold on. Because you are about to step into something greater than you have ever imagined. You have been in a season of stretching, of waiting, of believing, even when nothing seemed to change. But now you are on the edge of the breakthrough you have been praying for. The enemy tried to stop you, but he failed. The delays, the doubts, and the discouragement were all part of his plan to weaken your faith. But you endured. You held on. And because you did, you are about to witness God move in ways you never imagined. The doors that were shut will open. The prayers you thought were unheard will be answered. The waiting that felt unbearable will make sense. What seemed impossible will suddenly shift in your favor. Because God has never forgotten you. He has never abandoned you. His timing is perfect. His plan is flawless. And His promises never fail. Now is not the time to give up. Now is not the time to doubt. You are closer than you think. Keep standing, keep believing, keep expecting. Because when God moves, it will be undeniable. And when it happens, you will know this was His plan all along. Your breakthrough is not just coming, it is here. Step into it with faith